Welcome, welcome. All right, got a live one. A holiday, yep, it is. Certainly something. I think this is a keep. Knight of the Reliquary is like technically a payoff for infinite mana if it's not summoning sick, or Kessig Wolf Run is too, so. This hand is just a Vizier away from having a combo. Doomsayer with the big cheer. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I wouldn't be too surprised if this doesn't resolve. Hey, XX Scar, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. I know there's a lot of great people on making content on Twitch right now, and I appreciate you to support mine here. Yeah, Jade Kid, I don't think the mono green Bogles deck is something I'm interested in playing. I'm not sure that looks terribly competitive. The online format's a little bit brutal and fast. If you're interested in sending me other ideas, I'd be happy to take the donation that you made and apply it to a different deck that I'd be willing to play. But as always, you should drop me a line and let me know, or let me take a peek at a deck before. Yeah, Tech Edge is weird. Tech Edge is this is someone who's been wronged by Valakut too many times. That's what Tech Edge typically means. And what I think about Sunday's SCG results, they were really lagging on posting the results, so they actually hadn't posted anything by the time I went to bed last night. I went to bed kind of early, so I didn't actually see what all went down there. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and get like my Knight of the Reliquary on now, so that way we could just like generate a buck ton of clues here. I'm gonna put Vizier into play too. You could say we've gotten a clue. Sounds good, Jade Kit. Any idea if Nivik can start throwing money at Vintage more often? Yes, we can do. I think one vintage a week is probably fine based on the numbers for that first one, Nivik. So maybe we can make Wednesday evening. We can do the first league of Vintage League on Wednesday evenings. And seem to be an okay time slot for that. Alright, Tech Edge, Island, Search for Azcanta. Almost certainly a control deck. What's going on, Justin? Selfless Spirit is probably fine. This is probably not a very good Retreat to Coralhelm matchup. I'm pretty sure I want to edge and board the combo. This combo at least out against control decks. If they are a control deck, Kitchen Finks should be annoying for them. I'm from a Vizier as well here, I think, too. I don't know that I want Eidolon of Rhetoric, Sage, or Pridemage. What's going on, Sadistic? Hey, that sounds great, right? We got Devoted Druid into Chord for Vizier into Duskwatch Recruiter as a payoff for infinite mana. Like your island's opponent. Nice invasion island there. Well, the paths are in the board, so that would require boarding them in. We don't actually know that our opponent's guaranteed on blue-white either. They could be on blue-red control. They could be on some kind of weird blue-black control deck. I have this really great card choice command for explaining why there aren't things like a fourth Tireless Tracker in the deck. That's kind of punishing. I was like, I think I'd rather this eat a mana leak than like my Knight eat a mana leak here, but the spell snare is kind of brutal. Yep. That's it's a pretty big boy. It's It's a pretty big boy. That makes Tech Edge make even less sense, right? Because, like, if you have Tech Edge in your, like, Field of Rune gets you more basic islands, right? So wouldn't you just want Field of Rune? I'm confused. I'm less impressed with your choice of islands now that they're mismatched. These first two are very nice. I don't really have a good way to interact with that, huh? I guess I'm going to start by attacking here. Hey, Moro Sith with the $10 donation. Good morning, Jeff. Give Bomatzu a little love. 10 out of 10 will do. Thank you. Thank you for the support. I guess I have to... I guess I'm just racing here. Is it better to crack clues to race now? It's probably better to just put more things into play, right? So I'm going to put... I think I'm going to lead on Kitchen Finks here. Gain a little bit of health. Whatever I lead on is probably going to get Cryptic Commanded. Have I played humans on stream before? Not for a while. Long time ago. So, like... Supreme Will, yep. Somebody got some standard in my modern chat. They got some standard in my modern. So we're dead in 3 to this. They echoing truthed my clues. What a savage. What a savage human being. I liked my clues opponent. I was quite fond of them. Just the most rude. Birdie here actually chump blocks, which is kind of nice. You have tech edged me. Alright. As always, you should always chump block before you need to. So I'm gonna jump with the birds here. That was a mistake. Should have played this Ghost Quarter out. Missed a point of damage. It's actually pretty relevant. Because, like, them being at 7 is kind of a big difference. Glimmer of Genius resolves. Yeah, 10 out of 10 missed a point of damage here. If they have like a cryptic command here, we could be in a little bit of trouble. I don't have like a Fiend Hunter or anything like that in my deck, right? Nope. Nope. Yep. Okay. Alright, birds is a good draw. That land is also a good draw because it means this attack is lethal. That's a motherfucking Plume Veil right there. That's an MF and Plume Veil. Well then. That is certainly a thing that just occurred. Get Plume Veiled. Woof. Alright, we're gonna bring in some Path to Exiles for the next one. Yeah, their mono blue deck seems way sweeter than the mono blue deck we played. This card is giving us the Bizwitch here. Sweet. They don't have a way to beat through the bird, and they're dead on the backswing, so they can't stack. Alright, let's smush with both of these. They're obligated to trade with the knight, otherwise they get to Ghost Quarter and kill them. Yep. Sure. Certainly a modern legal card. Play this Noble Hierarch out pre-combat here. So that way when Kitchen Finks attacks, it'll trade with the Plume Veil. Gotta play around modern staple Plume Veil here. Like a master. Stone Cold Master. Boomerang! Deal. Horrendous whiteboard. No, whiteboarded lands are beautiful. Don't you shame my basic lands. Don't you shame my basics. My basics are big and beautiful. Alright, so record for 2 at their end step here. Get force spiked. Alright. Alright. I accept. Record for 4 in response here. Get our Hexproof Dork. None shall pass. Got him. Got him. Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone had a great weekend. If you're in the US, hope you're still having a great weekend. Happy Memorial Day. If you're in the rest of the world, you know, enjoy your regular Monday. Hanging out, playing some Modern. Starting out with this green-white splash retreat double combo deck. And then move on to some other things. We're gonna play some Bant Super Friends. We're gonna play some blue-white Enduring Ideal. We're gonna play some green-black rock. A lot of good stuff today. Bank holiday. God bless. God bless everyone. Bits for getting him with the Sahali, right? Get him. Get him. I mean, this hand is great, right? It's like combo, combo, combo. Combo, combo, combo. No, so spells check that a target is legal when you put them on the stack and when they would go to resolve. So by giving the creature hexproof in response to the Echoing Truth, when it goes to resolve, checks to make sure its targets are still legal and goes, oh, my targets are no longer legal, I can't resolve. Thoughts on SCG Minneapolis? Didn't see the results. Haven't looked. By the time I went to bed last night, I am an old man. The results had not been posted. Yep, that's just the way things worked out. I don't really plan it that way. I pretty much just like pick all the decks that are at the top of the queue. Would you play the mono red prison deck? I don't think that deck in Legacy. I played it in Legacy. I don't think the mono red prison deck is good in Modern. I don't think Blood Moon's in a very good spot right now, and I think Chalice is a pretty rancid card in Modern. So looks like a Delirium Shell. Probably have a lot of interaction, but I think playing out a 2-power guy and playing to block is also probably losing proposition. So just play this and hope they have nothing, I think. Yeah, Fast Shun's a good way to describe the opponent. It's like Death Shadow Delirium, right? They got Goyfs and Flayers and Death Shadows and lots of removal. Yeah. I feel like we're pretty dead. Anybody else feel that way? Anybody else feel like we're pretty dead? I guess I'm playing this and like hoping to trade with a Grim Flayer here. Yeah, there's a lot of one mana spells in Modern right now that like actually have converted mana cost 6 and 7, right? Because of all the Delph cards. Like, you only tap one land to cast Tasigur, but yeah, we are very dead here. Let's get these Path to Exiles in our deck and board out some of these kind of bad combo pieces. I want to just increase our card quality here. This is almost certainly a Worship matchup. I'm not a big fan of Worship in general, but this is definitely a matchup where it comes in. Pretty sure this is what I'm doing. This is boarding down to 24 creature hit, which is probably not enough. I think I'm going to trim some Chord of Callings here, just because they're kind of slow and clunky. What's going on, Lythanol? Why not play Bog? Bog's probably worth bringing in. It's probably worth bringing in. I'm trim one of these Kessig Wolf Runs for the Bog. I really don't want to go up a land, I don't think. Pulse beats Worship. So you're saying if I shouldn't board in Worship in this matchup, this card is fucking terrible and just shouldn't be in the sideboard. I guess like you want it for humans or Affinity, but like those decks should have ways to take this off the board too in these matchups. I really just hate this card in Modern. I think this card's a lot like Blood Moon in that people get so caught up in the free wins that it gives you that they don't recognize how bad it is on average a lot of the time. I'm gonna give you a 10-minute break and let you think about the card Wear Tear while you're on a break. I mean, this is definitely a key. Maybe all the chords are supposed to come out. Just because, like, this isn't like Kiki Chord where you have, like, these Eternal Witness chord value plans into Restoration Angels. Like, this card's just, like, kind of clunky and expensive. And, like, my opponent's deck is definitely about being efficient and getting under us. So, like, maybe this is worse than just, like, having a Selfless Spirit, for instance. Humans should have most actually let me check Star City. Humans won the open, right? Before I say something, let's just like validate here. This is winning humans list from the open. 2 copies of Reclamation Sage. Like I said, people are so caught up in like the free wins that a card like Worship can get you. They don't realize that like when people are smart and build their decks correctly, you're not going to beat them. So Worship and cards like it are cards that are going to allow you to beat bad Magic players consistently. But if you're an okay Magic player, you should be beating bad Magic players consistently with some consistency anyways. So you shouldn't play mediocre cards in your deck to give you an edge against players that are playing poorly. And I think that's what Worship does. I think Worship is a card that's going to let you catch people off guard that don't understand Modern and aren't familiar with how decks work and like what cards could be sideboarded and don't hedge things correctly. I think it's very much a getcha card, like Blood Moon's a getcha card, and people focus so much on the getcha that they don't remember just like the games were just like, well, paid 4 mana and discarded a card. Sure, and it depends on what you want to get out of your playtesting, right? Like if you just want to get bad players and like beat up on people that are worse than you, sure, play a card like Worship. But like if I'm interested in like good deck building and playing well and like playing against good players is what I personally would be worried with if I'm trying to test a deck. I would not want to play cards that are bad in those situations. Is that worth a highlight? Was that long enough and insightful enough and relevant enough? That might be fine. I'll make a note. This is how far into this video? 21 minutes into. I didn't think so. I didn't think so. All right, you've killed my thing. You've killed my thing. Definitely have learned a lot about Magic and game design in general from your videos. Thank you, RB Turtle. I appreciate the bits. Just a green-white deck, so let's just get more green-white mana. Yeah, the Vizier trading for Terminate here is quite excellent for us. It's a little aggressive and proactive on their part. Like, the Vizier doesn't do anything on its own, and like the Devoted Druid needs haste or like needs a turn. So, and I mean, like, I guess we're just like windmilling this Collected Company, right? And then like hoping to untap Worship and steal the game with that. What's going on, Marty? Happy Monday. Whoa, they're getting in with a 2/2. And this chat is why I could never register this card in a sanctioned Magic tournament. Never forget. Magic, less variance than Hearthstone. Cards that have lots of random RNG elements, they're never competitive in Magic the Gathering. Magic players crack me up. Magic players crack me up. Hashtag shit Magic players say. I don't think I should Ghost Quarter myself to play the bird. That's probably too aggressive. And we're dead. All right. In my experience playing these creature-based combo decks, the Jund, and especially like the Jund Shadow-based matchups, they're pretty difficult. They have our average card quality is kind of low because we're playing cards like Vizier of Remedies, and we're playing all these mana creatures. So like our individual card quality is low, which makes it easy for those decks to kind of pick us apart. So it doesn't surprise me to lose that matchup. I know our company was a little bit bad there, but I think overall, in general, like our tools are not good for keeping up with what they're trying to do. I just can't keep this. This doesn't do anything. Whoa, chat. Somebody mark your calendar. That was a close 7 into a keepable 6. Who? Oh, jeez. Ah, jeez. Well, at least we've got a combo in our deck. At least we've got a combo. If they don't have turn 3 Tron, oh my god, chat. They're not gonna Karnas on turn 3. Opponent, have you considered being luckier? Did you at any point in your Magic career look around and go, I'm gonna be a little bit luckier today? I don't even understand. I don't even get. We had our last combo piece here too. Oh baby, tap out for something irrelevant, please. Please. I would believe that our fast combo draws are good in this matchup. Fast combo decks are generally good against Tron. They could have Dismember. A lot of these green decks play Dismembers, 2x in the main. Play a crappy artifact. God bless us. And you're dead. Alright, let's get mixy with it. Alright, for the record, as someone who is like the crown prince of the concede APM, this is too early of a concession. You should make them show you their payoff. There's a non-zero amount of time I have the payoff here. So like, we were gonna kill our opponent. You should, if you're into life EV, you should definitely concede to the Chord for 2 or the Duskwatch Recruiter or whatever. Like, don't make them click through that unless you wanna make them click because you're a salty monster. But like, that's a slightly early concession. You wanna make sure that they show you that they actually have it. Do we have actual 0 cards? I guess Phyrexian Revoker comes in here. I guess that's fine. They can already see it, so that's fair. If they're ghosting, they know. Selfless Spirit is good here too. So Revoker and Selfless Spirit are good. Courser of Kruphix is pretty slow and clunky. Reclamation Sage is probably fine. Reclamation Sage is probably fine. Tireless Tracker is a little bit of a clunker too in this matchup, and I'm bringing the Qasali Pridemage. Definitely not a worship matchup. 0 out of 10. We have a Ghost Quarter in the mana base too to get with Knight of the Reliquary. This hand, this hand's a good example of a hand that's lands and spells that you just can't keep in a matchup like this. It's got no combo in sight, doesn't do anything for a little while. This hand's decent. Yeah, I'll take a birds on 1. It's got Ghost Quarter in the opener too. So we get to go like birds on 1 into Devoted Druid, Ghost Quarter on 2, just like develop our mana while disrupting them, which is nice. On today's episode of Lessons While Playing Against Dirty Tron Players, Ghost Quarter them during their draw step so they have a better chance to draw the last basic out of their deck, and never Ghost Quarter the tower. There's 2 reasons to never Ghost Quarter the tower. One is psychological. Dirty Tron players always have a second tower. The second reason to never Ghost Quarter the tower is tactical. Unless you have all the information and know that they don't have more towers and they have other copies, you always want to Ghost Quarter the other Tron pieces because you want them to be using their tower to assemble Tron, because that means the turn that they finally assemble their full Tron, they'll have used their tower to assemble Tron, which means the last Tron piece that they play will only give them 2 mana the turn they assemble Tron. So while we do get to make a funny about Tron players being lucky and always having another tower, there's a tactical reason to always Ghost Quarter the non-towers. I think if you are comfortable with a proactive deck in Modern, you should always choose to play the proactive deck. It's not particularly close. I think that argument kind of goes to crap a lot of the time, Pie the Master Pie, because like, oh, that was the wrong fucking land. This doesn't make mana of any color. I think there's Tron players that are aware of that argument and sequence their Tron pieces in the inverse order to like gain an edge that way. So like it depends on like what level your opponent is on too, like when you're reading them. Justin Mack with the 26-month resubscription. Thank you very much and welcome back. That's a long time. Thanks for putting up with me. Thanks for helping me do what I do here. Even with the Knight last turn, we're probably still pretty dead, but definitely played the wrong land. It should have a Knight in play right now. If we like draw retreat, we could have killed them. There's also just like the saying, you can only level someone by being one level above them. So like by putting thought into, well, they played this Tron piece first, so that means they're more likely to have more of that one. That's only relevant if your opponent is also smart enough to be thinking that way. So like, again, and then there's the next level where like they're smart enough to be thinking that way, and then there's a level past that where they're thinking that way, so they'll know you'll be thinking this way, so they take the inverse play to try and trick you back. So there's a lot of places your opponent could be to, and a lot of people just like don't think about it in general, so you're just like putting extra thought in and like overthinking it. So it's easier to just be like, you should never kill the tower and you should kill the other Tron pieces first, unless you explicitly know that they have redundant Tron pieces. Hey, Ryland with the very generous tier 2 sub. Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it. As tier 2 subs, as a thank you for subscribing at the higher level, you get to pick a deck in the donation queue to bump up by 10 points. So if you want to take a peek at the donation queue and let me know if there's a deck in there you'd like to see a little bit sooner, feel free to drop me a message. Let me know which deck you'd like to bump up this month. Thank you for the tier 2 sub, Ryland. This hand's fine, right? Like, I think I'm hard to pass up turn 3 company on the play. When you get the white-black zombie copter deck, I think that deck's not really an established archetype, so I don't know exactly what it looks like when you say that, but I think the idea of Smuggler's Copter plus zombies and Lingering Souls seems great. Yes, but what I'm saying, VTCL, if you were listening to the argument that I was constructing, is that most of the time going after the Tron piece they played last isn't relevant. And the couple of times it is relevant, it's probably just variance. So what I'm saying is potentially cutting them off of a mana is something you can always be doing, whereas the other thing generally doesn't matter. It's terrible and Affinity shouldn't play it in the sideboard. Man, my favorite is when people come back from timeouts and then do something like it's them timed out again. If you wanna tell me where Terror shouldn't be played in the sideboard of Affinity, you gotta put on your big kid pants and tell me why they shouldn't play it in their Affinity sideboard. Hey, Kino with the 3-month resubscription. Thank you very much and welcome back. I do appreciate that. Thank you for the continued support. Here's another one. If Affinity doesn't have Wear Tear in their sideboard, they're going to bring in Gear Appear Aether Grid against a deck like mine. And Gear Appear Aether Grid gives Affinity a way to reasonably kill every creature the green-white deck puts into play, which makes Worship worse. Maybe Wear Tear's not good in the sideboard. I've definitely seen good Affinity players that don't have Wear Tear in the sideboard. But again, the goal of the chat on this channel isn't for people to scream their opinions into the void. It's to generate a discussion. And if you just make a statement that's this ultimatum without explaining why you have this feeling or this opinion, that's not generating a discussion. That's implying that you're right and you know best and we don't understand and we're wrong. And that's not helpful and encouraging or contributing anything constructive. They have Ink Moth as well. Yep. Just like reasons that it's not good. This is just Devoted Druid Knight, and then we can get Kessig Wolf Run here, because we have the Vizier, so, like, they have to have removal or they're dead. %24% of decks have one wear tear. Well, there you go. There you go. Look at the stats on that. A quarter of the decks have wear tears. Warping Whale. Get got. Alright, I'm going to stand up for a little bit. Getting a little twitchy sitting down. What are you doing, Des? Come on. Stand up. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and they revealed a Eugene, so let's go score the crap out of them, shall we? Control decks are almost never well positioned in Modern. Decks that are proactive and allow you to kill your opponent very consistently, those types of decks are generally good. Sure, look, like that Zack attack, I'd believe that. Like, I just glanced at Peter, I'm gonna butcher his last name, Tubergen. Anyway, Peter plays a ton of Affinity, and he doesn't have Wear Tear in his sideboard. So, like, if Peter doesn't have Wear Tear in his sideboard, I would. Any reason I didn't wait till draw step there? I just wasn't thinking about it. I just wanted to kill their land. Like, waiting till draw step is such a tiny edge, and I just wanted to press my F6 key. Not set another stop. Yeah, I guess we could have courted for Druid, right? Why are they likely to have removal though, Mac Daddy? How much removal on average do you think Tron plays? Would you accept the statement that I think Tron plays very little removal on average? Because I think that's true. I think Tron plays very little spot removal on average. So like playing around a second piece of spot removal doesn't seem particularly like a necessary thing to do. So I can attack with this because Knight can fetch me an untapped land so we can court for Druid next turn. I don't give a shit about specific people. Like your logic was good. Your logic was good. Your logic was good. I liked your explanation. The explanation is what's important. It's popular among SCG grinders because they want to feel smart. People that like to feel smart play control decks. People that like to win games of Magic generally don't. So control is a feel smart archetype. It is. Yeah, it's Danugan. Alright. Good games, good games. Oh. I had a 1, 2, 3, 4... I actually shouldn't have attacked with this, right? Because I was like, this could get a land. I actually can't court for 2 here. We have Revoker, but I actually can't court for it, right? Because this tapping, if I wouldn't have attacked with this, I said I could still court with this up, but that's wrong. So I shouldn't have attacked with this, then I could have courted for Revoker. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards here, guys. So you're right that if I wouldn't have attacked with this, I could have courted for Revoker. I was thinking this could get me a land, but this also taps to get me a land, so it's net neutral on the Chord of Calling. So definitely died there because I attacked. And like, there's no guarantee that we win, right? It's fine to enjoy playing control. There's nothing wrong with playing control. I love playing bad control decks. But there's a reason why the best control decks in Modern are Jeskai control. The control deck that's full of lightning bolts and lightning helixes and can Snapcaster Mage them back. Yeah, we get to continue playing. We don't win the game guaranteed, but we get to continue playing Magic if I would have left the Vizier back. And I should have left the Vizier back because I was going to court for Devoted Druid if they didn't hit the Tron piece. And I just miscounted while I was talking. Yeah, there's only one Ghost Quarter, Rick. This deck's mana base is pretty stretched. It's got like multiple Kessig Wolf Runs and a Gavony Township. I don't think that's strictly true. Did they have Tron at that point? I guess they had Tron. Yeah, maybe that's fair because they had Tron. I mean, either way, regardless if they had the Tron piece or not, I should have left the creature untapped, because even if they didn't have a payoff with Tron, I should have courted for Devoted Druid. Yep. Do I think Esper Control would be playable with Stoneforge Mystic? I think it would probably be closer to an Esper mid-range deck, and it would probably be fine. Yep. Again, just like we died to the Shadow version earlier, I think the regular Jund matchup's probably not very good with this deck either. I'm going to board in some higher quality cards here and trim some of these lower quality combo pieces, but I think we're still pretty behind in matchups like this. I don't think this is a Revoker matchup. This is a Lightning Greaves out and leave this in. How do you feel about walking Ballista in this shell? I don't know, it's probably fine. I think it's probably worse than Saheli. Well, I think straight green-white value town is pretty terrible. I think the average, like, in modern, in modern, you need to be consistently competitive against a lot of the best decks. You need to be more efficient than these green-white decks can be without a combo game plan. So I think not. I don't have more threats to bring in, VTLC. What threats are you talking about? So like, I agree that I would prefer threats to Path to Exile, but like, what are there threats in my sideboard here that I'm not boarding in? Are there threats in my sideboard here? Which of these cards would you consider threats? Look, I top-8'd 3 opens in a row with Kiki Chord. It doesn't mean that deck was good. Modern is a great format, and it's a format people love playing because decks that are shit-tacular and medium minus at best do well consistently in this format. Like, pointing to results to say that a deck is reasonable, like, doesn't work in a format like Modern. There are enough people also playing bad decks that are worse than what you're playing or happen to line up poorly against what you're playing, that even if your deck is kind of bad, you're still going to win plenty of matches with it. And that's fine. And that's fine. Like, if you enjoy playing a deck, enjoying playing a deck is the most important reason to play it. So if you enjoy playing something like Green-White Value Town, you can and should play Green-White Value Town. You'll win plenty of games with it. And if you're having fun, that's the most important thing. I'm just saying, in a power level sense of efficiency and things that tend to be good and bad in Modern, I think the efficiency that the green-white deck has in terms of its interaction isn't there. Yep, yeah, gotta take Bob off the table. There's no way we can live through the amount of card advantage that Bob's gonna produce here. And this is a reason to bring in Path to Exile. Like, we're gonna draw like Kessig Wolf Run as our 4th land and still not be able to cast this Courser. Scred won a Grand Prix, yep. Ponza won an Open. Just like all of these things are true. Ugh. Am I trading with this? I think I'm trading with this Bloodbraid Elf, because I can't just like sit here and take damage from it. We're just gonna get buried by this Dark Confidant. Yep. Yes. Easy trade. If you couldn't bring humans or Hollowed One, what deck would you play at the next Modern Open? I actually really like the Jeskai Ascendancy deck, which, again, I don't think is amazing in the format, but I really enjoy playing it. It is a powerful, proactive game plan, and I enjoy playing it, so that is why I would prioritize playing it at a Modern tournament. I think Jund and Green-Black Midrange are very reasonable decks. I think Jeskai Control is a very, very fine deck. It can be proactive when it needs to be proactive. Mardu Pyromancer is fine. Like, I'm doing well, Doffmans. It's a good Monday. The children sound like they are being relatively good for Christy upstairs. No, I didn't go to the Open that weekend, but it wasn't because of the rock deck. It was because I was sick. Yep, using Fate Stitcher. You played it on stream a bunch. It's a lot of fun. I don't actually have any 4-power guys I can company into, right? Just like actual 0, so I should just pass here. There was actually a Jund deck that got it was a Jund deck that had 4 Tireless Trackers that top 32'd the Open this past weekend. I have a response. Oh yeah, Knight would have been 4 power. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I guess this means I can block here, right? I have a Bolt here too. Nope. Okay. We're actually in kind of an okay spot now. I think I'm gonna attack with both of these. We just win this race kind of hard, right? If they want to block here, I'll go quarter myself. Yeah, I agree. I miss some of the red cards. I kinda like the idea of like having access to Lightning Bolt and having access to night. That's just some good clean deck building right there. That's some good clean deck building right there. All right, so they have Cage. I think Cage means I want these two and I don't want these Chord of Callings. Like, boarding out Chord means Cage is less likely to have an impact, and these give me clean answers to Cage. Yeah, Raging Ravine is very good too. I think, like, Raging Ravine, Culligan's Command, and Lightning Bolt are, like, cards worth exploring. Maybe Grim Lavamancer too. I'm going to keep this hand. This hand obviously needs to draw a land or two, but I think you shouldn't mulligan too aggressively against decks that are full of discard spells. And, like, this hand gets to play Magic. Ding, fries are done. How about his Revoker? Well, Revoker can't name Ravine. I don't think Lavamancer is too common. Maybe Revoker's fine. The problem with Revoker is that it lets your opponent 2-for-1 you with Culligan's Command easier because they can shatter it and shock something else. Oh no! Oh no, friendly fire! The chosen ginger, I'm fixing it. I'm fixing it. We're going for the local dope. All right, the ginger. Sorry, Ginge. You're back. You're alive again. It's the misfire. Nah, I don't think Bog is very good. Generally, there's lots of card types in both graveyards, and like the cost of a land coming into play tapped is pretty high. We're pretty dead. Yeah, I'm not gonna slug this out. Or the rating is on the wall. Like, just not enough stuff going on. Not enough stuff going on. Yeah, I've kind of I've kind of said this the last few times we've played creature combo decks in Modern. I don't think creature combo decks are very good in Modern right now. I think, and these decks aren't very good for a lot of the same reason that, like, when people ask about Green White Value Town, I think those decks aren't very good on average too. I think our average card quality is low. Our interaction with decks that are faster than us is slow and clunky. Like, just Path to Exile isn't enough against a lot of things. And then getting these tutor creatures, like, is pretty slow too a lot of the time. So I am, again, just like, it isn't even specific to this deck. I'm just not, like, Kiki Chord and Angel Chord and, like, all of these creature combo decks. I don't think they're pretty clunky and awkward right now. Plays few interactions, the amount of card quality and advantage tools. So Modern is not a format so, like, I'm gonna pull up the MTG Fish. We're gonna rant here for a second. So here's the Modern metagame, and, like, this is like, these percentage numbers are whack because they skew the data or whatever, but, like, let's look at this. How many of these decks give a shit? I agree with you that Green-White Company generates a lot of card quality and draws a lot of fucking cards, right? Like, it's called Green-White Value Town for a reason. Let's look at these decks and see which of these decks give a shit about you generating value. Humans doesn't care about your value. It's gonna make giant cards and run you over. Jeskai, all right, Jeskai cares about your value. Affinity doesn't give a shit, gonna run you over. Jund, maybe they care. Black Red Hollowed One, gonna kill you. Burn, gonna kill you. Tron, gonna put a big thing into play and kill you. Grixis Death Shadow, gonna Teamer Battle Rage and kill you. Titan Shift, gonna ignore you and kill you. Hexproof, ignore you and kill you. Gift Storm, gonna ignore you and kill you. So you've got 1, 2, 3 decks that maybe kinda sorta care about you drawing cards. If Modern was a format about grinding cards and generating card advantage, I would agree with you. I would say that Green-White Value Town sounds like an excellent choice because when it comes to grinding card advantage and having card quality, it sounds like a great... Look at that. Look at that. There's a quick little timeout there. Quick little timeout there. There aren't enough data points to not lump Jeskai decks together. So when one has a combo finish, sometimes it skews the name there. Here's my response to Green-White Combo Town has a good Tron matchup. Tron is good against decks like Green-White Combo Town on average, especially the mono-green Tron that has lots of basic lands, because they get to play through the disruption. Decks like Green-White Combo Town don't pair their disruption with an efficient clock. And if you're not clocking the Tron player, they're going to keep reassembling Tron and kill you. They're going to put Oblivion Stone into play, and you're going to lose your board. And then you will die. Brecken Sky with the $35 donation. Hey, Jeff, happy Memorial Day. Put this in the queue as Buckle Up and enjoy a Dealer's Choice Buckle Up deck. 10 out of 10. Thank you very much, Brecken Sky. I'm going to put that on Jeskai Ascendancy, actually, because that's been my favorite Buckle Up deck of the late. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Are you saying Voice of Resurgence is not a clock? I am definitely saying Voice of Resurgence is not a clock. That is 10 out of 10 the argument I'm making. Grizzly Bear does not a clock make in Modern the Gathering. What about 3 Voices of Resurgence?